I would like to remind everyone to please make sure your cell phones are turned to the off or vibrate position, and also please be advised that our city council meetings are broadcast on Comcast Channel 99, AT&T Uverse, the City of Gadsden YouTube channel, and WMGJ. This meeting of the Gadsden City Council will now come to order. The chair calls on City Clerk Ivan Nelson for the roll call.
Councilwoman Toles.
Here.
Councilman Williams.
Here.
Worthy.
Here.
Back.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Cannon.
Here.
And Reed.
Here.
We have a quorum present and our meeting is open for business. I'm going to ask Patricia McGee. She is the chaplain for the Delta Sigma Theta sorority to lead our invocation today. And that's the Gadsden alumni chapter of that sorority. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good morning. May we pray. Our Father, which art in heaven, we thank you for the many blessings that hast bestowed upon us. We thank you for life, health, and strength, and thank you, Lord, for keeping us in our right mind. Our dear Heavenly Father, please bless all of those in attendance here today. Please bless our mayor, our councilor, and all of our other city officials. Lord, please bless this meeting, and may it be conducted decently and in order. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the Public Safety Committee, Finance Committee work sessions, and the council meeting that was held on March the 20th.
So moved. Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to approve minutes.
The chair will entertain a motion to ratify payments of account for the week of March 15th through the 21st.
So moved. Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to ratify payment of the accounts.
Proclamation. Our first item is unfinished business, and this is a resolution or an abatement of nuisance or property at 3501 Forest Avenue in District 6. This is Gregory Keith Peters, State of Alabama, and redemption rights to Regina Lynn Price and Wesley O. Price or their heirs, if deceased, being the last known owners. This resolution was tabled for 30 days on January 15th. What is the pleasure of the council?
Move to adopt, please.
Second.
Are there any discussion?
Yes, it'll be, Mr. Harbison, I had a discussion with him today. We tabled it on the 15th, January the 15th, and it sure be day, it'll be at least 3 months before they get by there. So Mr. Peters will have this done by the time they get by there.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
This is the time and place as advertised to conduct a public hearing allowing anyone to speak in opposition to or in favor of a resolution or an abatement of nuisance on property located at 1535 Litchfield Avenue in District 1. This is Rosemary Waters and Tara Jean Sims, minor, First Security Mortgage, Johnson and Associates Mortgage Company, and Guaranteed Savings and Loan, being the last known owners. Is there anyone to speak in opposition? If you come and give your name and address, please.
Good morning. I am Taria Janae Sims, the owner of 1535 Litchfield Avenue, and I, of course, am here to speak on behalf of resolution. My mother passed away about 3 years ago. I actually reside in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I will admit that it has been hard getting back and forth to the city to keep up with the code. However, I have a family friend, Mr. Gilbert Hardy, has agreed to purchase the property because I really wanted to keep it in my family. So he has agreed to purchase the property, bring it up to code so that, of course, it won't be a nuisance. I grew up in Gadsden, Alabama in District 1, and so the last thing that I would want to be to my city is a nuisance. So we have agreed on for him to purchase the property.
Okay, but at this time, there is a nuisance on it. If, I don't know, the legal ramifications as far as, our nuisance, it being abated, and Mr. Harbison may have to speak to that, in that, it does not belong to Mr. Hardy at this time, and I would not know how long it would take for that to be done, but, after Mr. Harbison speak, then maybe you all can talk.
Sure.
And we can move forward. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone to speak in favor?
Madam President, I am Brian Harbison with the Building Department. We started this case and filed it in July of 2018. There are also a couple of abandoned vehicles on the property as well. There have been no improvements. There was a building permit taken out in October of last year. We certainly don't have a problem with a new owner stepping in, but we would ask that if the council chooses to give some additional time, that it not extend beyond 30 days. I think that's a reasonable amount of time to do a quick claim deed. And if the gentleman is serious enough about making the repairs, he'll come and we'll issue the permits, and I'll report that back to you at that time. Thank you.
Okay. The question is, what is the pleasure of the council? And so that would probably be my decision. What we will do, I will table this for 30 days. And at that point, then we'll move forward as to see what would happen.
Madam yeah.
Okay. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for 30 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 30 days.
Our next public hearing is a resolution on abatement of nuisance on property located at 1343 Forest Avenue in District 3. And this is Robert and Judy Sperling in care of Robert Higgins and Robert and Judy Sperlings, Robert Higgins being the last known owner. Is there anyone to speak in opposition to this resolution? Is there anyone to speak in favor?
Madam President, we filed our case in August of 2017 on this case. There have been no improvements. There are no active permits to improve, and we're asking today for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
What is the pleasure?
Move to abate.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to
Can I
adopt.
say something? This is where we need to have these, where we can put the pictures up on the board down here to see this property. Because people think we just want to knock people's houses down, but we don't. We prefer that you fix your property up. But this is awful here. Okay.
When you see me smile, you know it's awful. Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property located at 809 Wawana Street in District 3, State of Alabama of Redemption, the right of Florence Hardy, Chapman Hardy, and their heirs, if deceased being the last known owners. Is there anyone to speak in opposition? Is there anyone to speak in favor?
Madam President, we filed this case in June of 2018. There have been no improvements. There are no permits to improve. And we're asking today for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Move to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution on abatement of nuisance or property located at 110 Ashland Avenue, and this is in District 4. Teresia Ann Nixon, AKA Teresia Ann Pentecost, being the last known owner. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Anyone like to speak in favor?
Madam President, you'll be surprised when you look at the picture and wonder why we're here today on this case. It initiated with a call from Department of Human Resources and Gadsden Police Department. There were some conditions inside this dwelling which caused it to fall under condemnation. And most likely, before any questions are asked, if the case continued forward, we would most likely be doing some type of rehab in order to save the structure. We've had no contact from the owner since the case was filed in June. There have been no improvements. There are no permits to improve. And we're asking for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
Mr. Harbison, is somebody living in this home right now?
No.
Okay.
Utilities are off.
Also, Mr. Harbison, did you say there's a chance to rehab it?
Oh, very likely, yes. Yeah, we would not remove this structure. Yeah.
There's trash on the inside.
What did, Mr. Harbison, will you step back to the mic?
I have another question, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all right.
I'm new at this, this is all kind of the first time I've seen it. So if we move to abate this, tell me what that does.
I need a resolution to even rehab. So I need a resolution from the council for us to go on the property to write the rehab specs, and then for whatever contractor ends up with the project to be able to go onto the property. I have to have a resolution to demolish or rehab.
Okay.
So I'm asking for that today. Thank you.
I appreciate, thank you.
What's the code violations on it, besides all the junk?
Well,
on the
I can't
inside?
get into all the specifics because there's some legal issues, but the utilities are off and were off at the time they were attempting to reside.
Are there any more discussion? What is the pleasure of the council?
Move to adopt?
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution on abatement of nuisance located at property on 1109 Central Avenue in District 6. This is Amanda Carroll, Homecoming Financial Network, Nation Star Mortgage LLC, and U.S. Bank Trust N.A. being the last known owners. Is there anyone to speak in opposition? Is there anyone to speak in favor?
Madam President, this case involves an accessory building. An accessory building only does not involve the primary structure. We filed a case in June of last year. There have been no improvements. There are no permits to improve, and we're asking for a resolution to allow us to clean the property. Thank you.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Move to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution or an abatement of nuisance on property located at 322 Grady Street in District 6. And this is the estate of Louis Works in care of Nancy McLeod, being the last known owners. Is there anyone to speak in opposition to this resolution? If you'll come over here to the Mike, and give your name and address, please.
Nancy McLeod, 1506 Mulberry Street. I've had some health problems, the reason I haven't got anything done with it. I just had some open heart surgery and a stent in one leg, and I gotta have a stent in the other one, and in my neck. And that's why I haven't been able to do anything right yet. I've tried to keep it up the best I can. I pay, to have the yard mowed and the work done. And now I'm out of work, so I just have to do the best I can.
So may I ask, what are you asking us? What are you asking the council for?
I just need some time.
Okay. How much time?
I don't know, I have to get somebody to help me out of my family, and they work through the week, so they can only help me on weekends. And because of my job, I can't work. The doctor won't let me work yet.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone to speak in favor?
Madam President, this case involves an old corner grocery store in the Walnut Park community. We filed our case in May of 2018. There've been no improvements. There are no permits to improve. And we're asking today for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
As you can see in the pictures there, the middle of it's sinking in. I think it's in pretty bad shape. In my opinion, it costs a lot of money to rehab this building to fix it back. Mr. McLeod, I think you'd be spending good money after bad right there in that building because it's sinking down, the floors are and everything in the building. I've looked at it for the last 2 years. It's been empty for the last 2 years and it's just sinking down. That building's in real bad shape. Have you had anybody to look at it and give you a price of fixing it?
Just my family. They come in and, it's not leaking or nothing inside of it.
I'm gonna go ahead and pass this resolution, and it'll be a while before they get there, and, if you can get it up to code, just talk to Mr. Harbison if you can get it up in that time frame. But like I said, I'm not a contractor or anything, but I think you'll be throwing good money after bad.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Move to abate.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution assessing nuisance abatement lien on property located at 401 South 11th Street, and this is in District 5. Did I?
3506 Ivy.
Okay. Our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property located at 3506 Ivory Place in District 6. Francisco Juan Parcel and Sheila K. Holland being the last known owners. Is there anyone to speak in opposition to this resolution? Is there one to speak in favor?
Madam President, we filed this case in September of 2017. There've been no visible improvements. There was some work done early on by the new owner that started and pretty much ceased in April of 2018. There are no active permits. We're asking today for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Move to abate.
Any-
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those
Aye.
opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution assessing nuisance abatement lien on property located at 401 South 11th Street. And this is in District 5, Sandra Beck being the last known owner. This is for demolition that has already been performed, and the amount is $2,366.40. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor? The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution assessing nuisance abatement liens on property located at 106 South 23rd Street. And this is in District 6, Kim F. Parker, DBA, the Parker Company LLC, and Thomas Harley being the last known owners. And this is for demolition that has already been performed, and the amount is $2,266.40. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone like to speak in favor? The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So move.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
We have items 18 through 27, our final public hearing, a resolution revoking business license and any other license issued by the city. These hearings are being held due to non-payment of delinquent taxes owed to the city by the businesses. Clay Glass Company, is there anyone here to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Thank you, Madam President. My name is Lisa Rosser. I'm the Revenue and Finance Director for the City of Gadsden. We have not heard anything from Mr. Clay with Clay Glass Company, and so we're asking at this time that you please approve the resolution.
Is there anyone to speak in favor? What is the pleasure of the council?
Move to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
LB Chemical Company Incorporated, is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Is there anyone to speak in favor?
Yes, at this time, we'd like for this resolution to have a table indefinitely, please. We have made payments arrangements with with LB Chemical at this time. There again, let me make it real clear. If we see that they do not make their payments, we will come back to the table and ask for the resolution to be passed. But at this time, we'd ask this to be tabled indefinitely.
Okay. What is the pleasure of the council?
Make a
Move to
motion.
table it for 30 days, well, indefinitely, sorry.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for an indefinite period, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table indefinitely.
Maria Matos, Mateo, Latienda Expressanda. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor?
Yes, at this time, we have had no communication with this business owner, so we ask that you please pass this resolution.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Move to adopt.
Second.
Are there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Philip Howard, DBA Howard Auto Sales LLC. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Yes, there again, we've not had any communication with this business owner, so we ask for approval of this resolution.
Okay. What is the pleasure of this council?
Move to adopt. Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Plumber's Pub. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution?
Yes, ma'am.
Give your name and address.
James Elliott, my home address or business address?
Both.
Both. 570 Hardy Lane is my residence, Host Bluff. 213 East Broad is the business. We've talked to RDS, the lawyer back there, and we said we'd try to, work some stuff out on it with them. Because I am current on my monthly stuff. Just the audit that they had claimed that we had some issues with and all. And we're gonna try to work that out. And we've talked to them and we're gonna try to set up some time with them. Because I have about 30 days to get that taken care of, minimum accounting and all.
All right. Thank you, sir. Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. Elliott does have a current business license for Plumber's Pub, and he is currently making his payments on his taxes. This is an issue that goes back for some time. But at this time, I'm going to ask that you do proceed with this resolution. I want to be consistent with what we're doing. If Mr. Elliott does make arrangements with RDS as far as payment of some sort, I will come back to you and ask you to take it, off the table and do away with it. But at this time, I feel like it's in the best interest of the city that we proceed. So I ask that you approve.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Move to adopt.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I just want to make sure that I understand, so we move forward with what we're doing today, but then there's discussions going on with Mr. Kelly and RDS that if he satisfies what needs to be satisfied, then you'll come back and then we'll undo what we're doing today?
Okay.
So in essence, you're kind of getting your 30 days as long as you do with your agreement with RDS, is that what I understand? I don't know if Mr.
Come.
So you giving me the 30 days?
No.
No,
You didn't say
no,
30
no,
days.
sir, no, sir,
No.
I'm just saying that you had asked for 30 days. The motion is to go ahead and approve it today as it states, so there is not 30 days. But if you do what you had said that you're talking with RDS about, then the city will, Mr. Officer will come back to the council, and then we can undo what we're doing on this order today. So really, the onus is on on you, and I guess.
Yes,
Okay, would you
Council-
state your name and your, in your position in this?
Yes, Madam President. My name is Jonathan Garth. I'm the Vice President of Audit at Avenue Insights and Analytics. I'm a licensed attorney in Alabama. Came over today from Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay,
So-
and we were speaking on,
Yes, what this, adopting the resolution will give us the power, however, to place a stronger deadline on the provision of these documents that we've sought for many years. So if the taxpayer indeed is capable of providing them, we'd like to correct it and make everything correct and get the right amount of money. However, if they do not provide them, we're already in a position where we can enforce the penalties.
Right.
Good.
Thank you.
So just to clarify, moving forward with this resolution, the business license will be revoked today, effective immediately? Is there a?
Yes, sir. All this does is give us the ability for our city attorney to file an injunction in circuit court to
Gotcha.
close the business.
Understand, so their operations won't necessarily cease right away, but it does give the city the ability to move forward in the legal realm.
Correct.
Okay.
We'll do so in good time. Should he comply, it will not be necessary. to do
Okay, so are you clear on that? Assuming that you comply with your conversations with Avenue, the city will not move forward with an injunction to have your business shut down? Okay,
And also be clear that the 30 days does not come from up here. That has to do with you and the auditor. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Rip Bone. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor?
At this time, we're going to ask for this resolution to be tabled indefinitely. Rib Bones has made arrangements with RDS to make payments on the assessment. This is, however, contingent upon other taxes that are due to the city being paid in the next 2 days. If that does not happen, I will bring this back on the table next week and ask you to approve. But at this time, we will ask for this to be tabled indefinitely.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Move to adopt.
Move to a table indefinitely.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for an indefinite period, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table indefinitely.
Our next business is Salvador Ramez Latino. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor?
Yes, ma'am. We have been in contact with Mr. Ramirez, and he has set up a payment arrangement, and so we will ask that this be tabled indefinitely at this time.
All right. What is the pleasure of the council?
Move to adopt.
Second.
I'm sorry, move to table
yeah.
indefinitely.
Yeah, second that.
Those in favor to table the resolution for an indefinite period, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table indefinitely.
The Steel Bar and Grill LLC. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in favor?
At this time, we're going to ask for passage of this resolution. We've had no contact with Steel Bar and Grill.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Move to adopt.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Westcott Forklift Sale and Service LLC. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
At this time, we're going to ask that this resolution be tabled indefinitely. We have made payment arrangements with Westcott.
Okay, what is the pleasure of the council?
Move to table indefinitely.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for an indefinite period, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table indefinitely.
Connie and Stephen Byers, Artistic Design. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in favor?
So at this time, we're going to ask, to be consistent, we're going to ask that this resolution be tabled indefinitely. Mr. Bowers spoke with Jonathan after our meeting this morning, and arrangement has been made for payment.
Okay, Clerk, what is the pleasure of the council?
Move to table indefinitely.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for an indefinite period, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table indefinitely.
All right, our next item is a resolution awarding bid number 3386 for Nakalula Falls Botanical Garden Landscaping. No bid was received, and the city's engineer negotiated through an informal bid process. He has recommended awarding the bid to Copeland Skate Incorporated, and the amount is $269,875. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next resolution is awarding a bid number 3396 for Broad Street Rooftop Lighting Project. The city engineer has recommended awarding the bid to Fred Dempsey Construction LLC, and the amount is $126,941. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So move.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
A resolution awarding bid number 3397 for the finished traffic signs. The NEPA coordinator has recommended awarding the bid to Traffic Sign Incorporated. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
The next resolution is awarding bid number 3398 for unfinished traffic signs. The NEPA coordinator has recommended awarding the bid to Traffic Signs Incorporated, and the chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next resolution is accepting donation from the Elk Lodge, and this is for a thermal imaging camera valued at $1,395 that will be used by the fire department. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved. Second.
Are there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Is there any new business? Department reports. Before we get into the remarks by the mayor and council, I would like to just to say, especially for, I believe in being transparent. I know that people should say that we shouldn't err, but from 18 to 27 on the items concerning the business license, this is where people have not paid their taxes. And the public needs to know this, that you're doing business with people, and if they're not paying their taxes, then that's taken from the city. So you need, I've said that you need to know this, not trying to hide anything, not trying to embarrass anybody, but you embarrass yourself when you don't do what you're supposed to do. So I know that everybody was kind of looking a little starry-eyed when we were going through the businesses, but it's because people have not paid their taxes. And because they haven't paid their taxes, then they shouldn't continue to do business in the city of Gadsden. And so that's the reason why we're here, giving them an opportunity. They've had a lot of opportunities, but they haven't done what they're supposed to. So now it's time for, because if you don't pay your taxes, the IRS is going to come after you. So this is something that we're doing as a city. The other thing is I'd like to recognize my sorority sisters, so if you all will stand up. And they have everybody else to come up front, so you all come down front.
Yeah.
When I was in Washington, Delta Sigma Theta sorority is a public service sorority. It's a national as well as a local organization. And they were meeting at the Capitol in Washington, D.C. And so we tried to implement here local day at the local government. Our president is not here. She is Willetta Chambliss. I believe she works for Alabama Power. So, Mr. Hillebrand, you tell her that we look good up here, even though she was not here.
Can we get a ooh? Can we get a ooh?
Thank you, ladies, for coming. Sometimes ladies have their special privilege. It is 12:05. Gentlemen. Comments by the council, and it's 12:05. Which way do I start? Oh, District 1, 2.
All right, thank you, Madam President. Did want to echo her sentiments regarding the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. We are very fortunate in the city. We have some sororities that do some outstanding work in the community, and it's ongoing, and it definitely appears that you're training a new generation of young ladies to follow in your footsteps as well. So we do appreciate everything that you do in the community. That's it.
Wow. Councilman Worthy?
Yes, Madam President. I just want to say that we had a community development meeting this morning, community development, and we had our engineer there to go over the stormwater drainage, talked about where we are and what they are doing to alleviate this problem. So people, it's a complicated area to talk about, and it's going to cost a lot of money in some of the areas to fix it. But we are working, especially right there at North 11th by the old Marvin's. We've been working on that for, I guess, several years. And that's $1 million or so project. So we're trying to figure out ways to fix these problems. So please just be patient with us. And if you're having a water problem, or the ditch, the drainage overflowing, just let us know, okay? And then we'll make a note of it and start working on it. I had a lady tell me about one this morning, so thank you so much.
Councilman Back.
Councilman Back. Thank you so much, Madam President.
The joke was I called the lady Sandra Back, and it was Sandra Beck, so that's the joke. That's why we're laughing.
Thank you so much for correcting that. I wanted to bring up, there's a lot of good things going on in Gadsden. We heard from Frankie Davis this morning about the unemployment being very low in Gadsden and Etowah County. We've talked about Marana Park. I drive by it 2 or 3 times a day. There's people there. I think our problem now is we just need a bigger parking lot. There are some really good things going on in the city of Gadsden. 2 things that I think are going to be really good and exciting are 2 things we just passed. We just sat up here and spent a lot of money. One is for the lighting of Broad Street, and one is up at Knockalula Falls. And I don't want to put Heath Williamson on a big spot, Mr. City Engineer, but just very briefly, because it's 12:07 or 8 now, and I'm going to get in trouble for doing this probably. But could you give folks just a real quick synopsis on what we're doing up at Knockalula Falls? I think this is good news, and not a big, long, in-depth thing, but 30,000-foot view?
Just about, 30 minutes or so?
Yeah, about 30 minutes would be good, yeah.
Now, real quickly, the old Rock Garden area, if you're familiar with that, closer down to where the original train depot is, that area seemed better used for some renovation. So essentially, that area was already removed. This will add what we're calling the botanical gardens. It's a range of sidewalks, a large boulder retaining wall. There's some pavilions, obviously sod, and a lot of plants that I don't know the names of, but that's where you get into the educational side in conjunction with our Parks and Rec, Christina Richardson up at the Falls. So that's kind of it's a real quick one. I'm going to stop. But if you want more information, feel free to come see me. I'll show you the plans. We'll go through it, and I can give you as much as you want. So I'll stop there.
He done used up all Councilman's back time. Go ahead.
Thank you so, no, I'm fine. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. I mean, we just sitting up here and spent $400,000 or $500,000. I just thought people might want to know what that's going towards. I know I do, and I already knew, so now y'all know. Thanks.
All right. Councilman Wilson?
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to follow up on some comments that President Tolles made about the tax situation and the business license there. As a small business owner, I understand how hard it is to pay and carry a tremendous tax burden. As a small business owner, I get that, but I want to make it clear that we're not talking about business licenses. We're not talking about personal or real property taxes, taxes that are levied against your assets. This was sales tax, people. That means that every single one of you walked into one of these businesses, were charged sales tax, they collected that sales tax, and then did not remit it to the city of Gadsden. And to me, that's about as low as it gets on the business ethics scale. So that's the reason we moved to act in the manner that we did, and I take it very seriously. And you can expect any business out there that's guilty of this to face the same process. So. Pay your business taxes, and especially if you're going to take it from our citizens, you better remit it. Thank you.
Councilman Cannon?
Yeah, this is the last meeting we're going to have in March, so I'm going to hold all my comments for the month of April.
Madam President, I'll be taking a leave of absence for the month of April.
You'll have to stay gone 2 weeks.
Just remember, I've did this for April.
April Fool, bring it on.
Councilman Reed?
Oh, Lord, welcome the ladies in red. I look forward to it every year. Smiling faces, y'all are happy. Everything looks good. We also like to encourage our youth to come. The younger, the better. Get them started knowing what's going on up here. I want you to know that Master Victor Chester is with us this morning. He's right back here, probably the youngest one we've ever had here. Welcome, Chester. Come back more often. That's all I have.
I also would like to recognize Miss Kendra Lee. She has 2 interns. If you'll stand, she brought 2 interns. They are having to attend city council meetings, and so they came with her. But they're working social work degree. All right, so we commend you for that, and we appreciate you. They're asking for master's degree. Yeah. I ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.